Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Infinite Manifestations. There is no such thing as a coincidence, and things aren't always what they seem. Listen to this short story about two traveling angels. Two traveling angels stopped to spend the night in the home of a wealthy family. The family was rude and refused to let the angels stay in the mansion's guest room. Instead, the angels were given a small space in the cold basement. As they made their bed on the hard floor, the older angel saw a hole in the wall and repaired it. When the younger angel asked why, the older angel replied, "Things aren't always what they seem." The next night, the pair came to rest at the house of a very poor, but very hospitable farmer and his wife. After sharing what little food they had, the couple let the angels sleep in their bed where they could have a good night's rest. When the sun came up the next morning, the angels found the farmer and his wife in tears. Their only cow, whose milk had been their sole income, lay dead in the field. The younger angel was infuriated and asked the older angel, "How could you have let this happen? The first man had everything, yet you helped him. The second family had little but was willing to share everything, and you let the cow die. Things aren't always what they seem." The older angel replied, "When we stayed in the basement of the mansion, I noticed there was gold stored in that hole in the wall. Since the owner was so obsessed with greed and unwilling to share his good fortune, I sealed the wall so he wouldn't find it. Then last night, as we slept in the farmer's bed, the angel of death came for his wife. I gave him the cow instead. Things aren't always what they seem. Sometimes that is exactly what happens when things take the advice that makes sense for you and leave the things that doesn't. Suddenly, you're curious about what a soul is, the purpose of existence, reincarnation, soul contracts, and everything else. You may find yourself reading outside of your own religious literature, delving further into other Eastern, Western, or ancient traditions. You may discover a new definition for the term faith and begin to doubt your current faith. Recognize that it is normal, but also recognize that your faith in something bigger gets stronger. This stage will also raise your vibration and frequency. At this stage of your spiritual awakening journey, it's important to just find what works for you to really help build your spiritual muscles. And until you don't find it, keep looking. Begin by making space. Clear your area of items you no longer require or that serve just as a distraction from your life. While it is necessary to clean your physical space, it is as important to declutter your thoughts. Spend some time each day in peace and tranquility. Allow your ideas to pass without judgment, and observe as your mind gradually clears of mental clutter. Meditation helps you to relax into what is now real, because what is constantly present for all of us is that there is just love, no fear, and it provides you with a stronger connection to your intuition. Be aware of and deliberate about your beliefs. Understand the energy that you're pushing out into the world, not just your own. And be honest, do your beliefs help you grow spiritually? A spiritual awakening frequently requires letting go of ideas we've held our entire lives. But that's the thing with waking up. You have to recognize you've been asleep first. Investigate new ideas and opposing viewpoints. Read books, go to seminars, and talk to others who have had varied experiences. An awakening happens when you discover something new, when you physically wake your mind and soul from a slumber you didn't even realize you were in. When you open your mind to new ideas, beliefs, and opportunities, you enhance your chances of waking up to a life experience you never thought was conceivable. The outdoors is alive with energy, soul, and wonder. So many of us spend our days caged up inside, behind computer screens, disconnected from the outside world. Take some time to reconnect with nature. Even in huge cities, there are trees to touch, gardens to admire, and fresh air to breathe. Try not to be distracted by your phone or even by the companionship of another individual. Allow yourself the peace, serenity, and presence that comes with being outside. What comes to life within you may surprise you. Developing goals for recovery can be tricky, especially if you aren't sure what it is that you want to accomplish. Consider your interests, things that bring you joy and things that keep you motivated. Also, think about the things you want, like where you want your life to go or what you would do more of if you could. Having a deep investment in the goals that you set will increase the chances of completing them. Taking good care of yourself is paramount to the success of your recovery process. People in recovery find that their physical, spiritual, and emotional health are all connected, and that supporting one supports the others. Taking care of all aspects of you will increase the likelihood that you stay well. Eating well and being active are excellent ways to stay in touch with yourself and your higher power, whether it is God, the universe, or simply your own internal guidance system. It is crucial that you check in with yourself on a regular basis. If you don't, you might not notice that things are changing or getting out of hand. Checking in with yourself enables you to assess where you are in your recovery. You may discover that you need to change the stage of your action plan or try new coping mechanisms. If you've ever been in a challenging position, you know how difficult it can be to come out of it. Learning everything you can about your mental and spiritual health will help you realize that your difficulties are not your fault. There is always a solution somewhere. The truth is that spiritual enlightenment cannot be forced. Anyone may have one, and following advice like this one can help you along the way, but there is no prescription for enlightenment. Do your best, then let it go. You're significantly less likely to have a spiritual awakening if you're tied to the concept of having one, and wedded to your idea of what a spiritual awakening looks like. Recognize that you are on the best path for you. Keep in mind that a spiritual awakening is not necessarily a one-time thing. The spiritual path is a lifelong journey of growth. Continue to follow the steps above and you will undoubtedly find yourself waking up to new awareness and deeper consciousness over and over again. Remember that a spiritual awakening is not always a one-time event. The spiritual path is a lifelong journey of personal development and spiritual growth. If you continue to follow the methods in this video, you will surely find yourself waking up to new knowledge and deeper consciousness on a regular basis. Inner work is a psychological and spiritual activity that involves delving deeply into one's inner self for the goals of self-exploration, self-understanding, healing, and change. When we practice inner work, we are shining the light of consciousness onto our inner world, which is made up of the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious levels of our mind. Your inner self is made up of your hidden feelings, memories, ideas, beliefs, biases, scars, shadows, and other mental, emotional problems that have an impact on your capability to change and feel whole at a fundamental level. You will be able to overcome anxieties, limits, addictions, depressions, loneliness, and feelings of unworthiness by engaging in inner work. The three most impactful, deep-diving, long-term healing inner work practices I've found through years of experimentation and analysis are self-love. It is the forgiveness, acceptance, and respect for who you are deep down, all your beautiful and ugly parts included. Inner child work. This is the process of contacting, understanding, embracing, and healing your inner child. Your inner child represents your first original self that entered into this world. And shadow work. Shadow work is the process of exploring your inner darkness or shadow self. Your shadow self is part of your unconscious mind and contains everything you feel ashamed of thinking and feeling. These three inner work practices are ordered according to their level of difficulty. In other words, to practice inner child work and shadow work, you'll need to practice self-love first. Shadow work is the most difficult and advanced of all three practices, hence why it is last. Inner child work is of medium difficulty and is therefore in the middle. If you're interested in those inner work practices and want to learn more about it, let me know in the comments below. I will then create separate videos about each topic. If you want to start your inner work, answer the following questions. What is the main source of suffering in my life right now, and what major life lesson is being taught? Meditate or reflect on your answer. Always remember, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes you are the chosen one to teach somebody else a lesson. There is no such thing as a coincidence, and things aren't always what they seem. Never give up. Be open to receive, and I hope to see you in my future. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.